Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Neil Ratan, you can start.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Niratan Sarkar, and my topic is project scheduling.
Neil Ratan, what is the spelling of scheduling?
SCHEDULING.
What
Oh,
you have written?
oh.
Your topic is actually scheduling management, okay? But you can write as a project scheduling also. But it is you have to add the word called management.
Okay, sir.
You correct the spelling first. It will looks very bad. Neil Ratan, time is running out. You start your presentation.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Niratan Sarkar. Today's topic is scheduling management. Basics of scheduling management. Project scheduling simply means a mechanism that is used to communicate and know about the tasks that are needed to be performed. It simply means, uh,
You
for example,
start the slide share.
I've started.
You have not start. You click the play button, then only the slide share start, or from slideshow you can start. Because whatever you have explained, it is not displaying in the screen.
Oh,
You have to display the slide first, then you go for the explanation. Go to the size. Okay. Yes, it's coming.
basics of scheduling management. Scheduling management simply means a mechanism that is used to communicate and know about the tasks that are needed to be performed and which organizational resources will be allocated to this task and in what time framework is needed to perform. Um, Effective project scheduling leads to success of projects and reduce cost, cost and increased customer satisfaction. For example, if we consider a catering for a marriage, So the cooks are divided into different groups for different requirements. For some, suppose for a group for fish preparing, a group for meat preparing, a group for other things preparing. This way the groups are divided for different requirements, and the resources are allocated. Next, process. The manager needs to estimate time and resources of project while the scheduling project. The manager uh, needs to allocate the time and other resources for the requirement of the different groups, according to the for a well organized manner. The total work is separated or divided into various small activities and tasks during project schedule. Then project manager will decide the time required for each activity. The manager divides the various activities in different tasks uh, for project schedule, so that the task can be performed easily and in a time efficient manner, and the resources are allocated according to the requirement of the task, and times are allocated according to the requirement. The following are included in the creation of a project schedule. Deliverables, task starts and end dates, task dependencies, project calendar, work packages, task duration, and packet project timeline, budgets, resource availability, and schedule risk analysis. Pro- project scheduling management steps. Create a schedule plan for your project. Define who has the authority over the schedule. Identify start and end dates for project activities and tasks. Figure out task dependencies. Sequence activities and tasks chronologically to create a project calendar. Estimate needed resources and resource availability. Determine duration of activities and tasks. Build project schedule. Monitor and control throughout the project lifecycle. General general practices. Project managers' main objectives are define all the projects, build an activity network that depicts interdependencies. It means build an activity in a way so that we can understand uh, what dependency task of the other task. Identify tasks that are critical within the activity network. Build a identify the tasks that are critical within the activity network. It means to identify the tasks that are the most important, that have to be performed first, before others. Build a timeline depicting the planned and actual process of each task. Uh, Track progress to ensure that delay is recognized one day at a time. To do this, schedule should allow progress to be monitored and the project controlled. Basic principles of scheduling management. Compartmentalization. This must be compartmentalized into manageable activities, actions, and tasks. It means the project should be divided into such a way so that the task can be managed. So that the task can be managed. Interdependency. The interdependency of each compartmentalized activity or action must be determined. It means to find out the interdependency of the task and the task of the task and the dependency. It's kind of like we have to if you give an example by frying a potato, before we fry the potato, we have to peel off the skin of the potato. Only later we can uh, uh, mm, cut the potato into pieces and then fry. So to fry the potato, we have to first peel off the skin of the potato. So here uh, peeling of the potato is the uh, dependency of the frying potato, the main task. some tasks must occur in sequence while other can occur in parallel. Uh, mm, uh, some tasks must occur in sequence while other tasks can occur in parallel. If we give an example of a software project where we have to do some tasks where mm, for the completion of the second task we have to first complete the first task, only then we can go to the second task. So in this case we have to do the task sequentially, and in other tasks where it is not necessary to perform the third task before performing the first task, so we can perform the third task uh, at, at parallel. Some actions or activities cannot communicate until the work product or product produced by another is uh, work product produced by another is available. Time allocation. Each task should be scheduled. Each task will be scheduled and must be allocated some number of work units. For each group and task, the time should be scheduled and allocated um, for the requirement of the task and the project. In addition, each task must be assigned a start date and the completion date. Effort validation. Every project has a different number of people on the team. Every project has a different number of every project has a different number of people on the team. It means every in every project there should be a number of no, number of the record number of uh, people should be calculated and given to the project. As time allocation occurs, the project manager must ensure that no more than the allocated number of people have scheduled at any any given time. It means for better efficiency, we should not give more people and resources to the allocate to a task more than the requirement of the task. Defined responsibilities. Every task that is scheduled should be assigned to a specific team member. It means a project has may have different groups, and within those groups there are different tasks to be performed, and 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 in for every task there should be a team member be assigned. Defined outcomes. Every task that is scheduled should have a defined outcome for software projects such as a work product. Defined milestone. Every task or group of tasks should be associated with the project milestone. Milestone is complete.
It's okay. It's okay, Nilotan. Uh, just one question from my side, that in scheduling you have mentioned in the third or fourth slide, I think you have mentioned is a project calendar.
Project calendar. Yes,
In
sir.
the third or fourth slide. So just explain what does it mean actually? What does the project calendar means?
The project calendar should be look like this: the program evaluation and review technique. In this case, for A, B, and C, A, B, C are interdependent tasks. That's why the first task A, and that's why the first task A, when the first task A is completed, only then the B task can be performed. And after the B task is performed, only then the C task can be performed. But in the case of G, the G task is dependent on the B task. That's why the uh, 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 G task is dependent on the A and B task. That's why the G task can only be performed after the A B task is completed. And design H task, design in two. here it's showing that this task is dependent on the G task. That's why here showing only after the G task is performed we can perform the uh, we can perform the H task. And here is the timetable. What is the possible record time time scheduling table? Timetable. Hello.
Okay, okay, Nimratan. Okay, it's
Uh,
okay. Thank you, thank you.
Sir, I have a question for this critical path mark. I didn't understand this. I just so
Okay,
this.
when from my side I will explain the topics, then I will explain it. Okay, you just remember and remind me at that time. Okay. First of all, let me complete the presentation, and I will go through the topics. And at that point, I will explain what is suppose a task network with critical path mark. Okay, you have to just remind me. Okay, next, Ankumani,
Yes, sir.
you start your presentation.
Good morning, everyone. Today I will be presenting the topic of software engineering. My part is project planning and tracking. It is the part of project manager. So, project manager, a software project manager is a person who undertakes the responsibility of executing the software. Project manager has some activities which involves project planning, project tracking, scope management, project estimation, and few more. Project planning. It is a software project planning is a task which is performed before the production of software actually starts. This starts before the technical work starts. We are going to see the project planning steps, size estimation. The size is the crucial parameter for estimation of other activities. Then cost estimation, development time, resource requirement. Resource requirements are required based on cost and development time. Then project schedule may prove to be very useful for controlling and monitoring the progress of the project. This is dependent on resource and development of time. So it ends here. Then project tracking. It is a project management method used to track the progress of tasks in a project. Thank you.
Project planning and tracking. Okay, Ankumani, what is actually tracking?
So tracking is how much the project has been uh, progressed from the beginning time and to in between beginning time and ending time. When we go for project tracking, then we will check that how much we have progressed in achieving the particular goal in making a project.
Okay, that means the tracking concept is only associated with the development of the project, how much we have developed, or the tracking is also involved in some other areas which are involved in the development. Do you get my
Yes,
point?
sir. Yes, sir.
For example,
Sir, in market.
yes, in market.
Yeah, sir. In managing resources.
I did not get your point. Repeat your observation?
So it is about checking the input data about the project's progress. Then
Does this taking involve how much resources we have spent till date? How much
yes,
budget
sir.
we have already allocated? These type of things are involved in the tracking part or not?
Sir, in project tracking, yeah, we will be checking the time, then cost and task, and we will check if works are happening every day regularly or not. Then the some project outline which we have took in the beginning, we will be checking that also in the process.
Okay, okay, thank you. Next, Wilson.
Sir, Neha will not be able
Yeah.
to present. She is in hospital, sir, because her mom is not well.
Okay. Wilson, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you start your presentation.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Am my screen visible?
Not till now. It's showing that you are sharing, but the content is not visible till now. Yes, now it's visible.
Okay. So, good morning, everyone. My topic is about managing risks and issues. So, let's start. Yeah, every project is susceptible to a large number of risks. Without effective management of the risks, even the most meticulously planned project may go haywire. A risk is any anticipated unfavorable event or circumstance that can occur while a project is underway. Risk management consists of three essential activities: risk identification, risk assessment, and risk mitigation. Now, what is risk? The project management body of knowledge defines risk as an uncertain event or condition that, if it occurs, that has a positive or negative effect on one or more project objectives. It's because the requirements with the users and the project team may not meet the user needs, resulting in unsatisfied users. The risk is with three elements: cost, risk, and impact. Cost: failure to review and validate the requirements. Risk: project team may not meet the user needs. And impact: users will not be satisfied with the product. Now, what is an issue? So how does an issue differ from a risk? Where a risk might happen, an issue or problem, and when an opportunity occurs, it becomes a benefit. Now let's distinguish a risk from an issue. Proactive management saves times. Project managers should manage risks proactively. Project managers can save valuable time through prevention and as often noted. Project managers can eliminate up to 90% of threats through risk management. Measures of management effectiveness. If a project manager is experiencing lots of issues, it may be a sign that the project manager has not been managing the project effectively. And different type of response. Issues require a different response than threats. Project managers respond to threats with different strategies, like avoid, accept, or transfer. Issues require corrective actions to bring the performance of the project in alignment with the project management plan. So that's all, and thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Wilson. Now my question is that in risk management, what we actually do, we are calculating the risks or we are trying to overcome these risks. Wilson, managing risks and issues, what does it mean actually? Either we are trying to find out in the development of this particular project, or we are trying to resolve these issues which may create a risk while developing the particular product.
So according to me, like if a team face any issue or problem like risks, it may affect the project. I mean the project risks, or may if any issue occurs, it may fail, like developing the software or any effective application.
That means once any error occurs, after that only we are doing the risk analysis, or from the very first beginning we are involved in risk analysis. Do you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, continue.
Sir, from the very beginning, I believe. So we have to be cautious about it. Because the team has to be cautious about it before facing any issue or risks.
Okay, thank you, Wilson. Next, Saidur. No, you are not audible, Saidur. Your audio is not connected.
Hello. Hello.
Not audible till now.
Hello.
Yes.
So now is it audible, sir?
Yes, now it is audible.
Okay, sir. So, sir, as of now, I want to explain my topic because I have not making any slide on my topic, and it is software configuration management. So, I would like to explain all the things about my topic.
So let's start. Software configuration management is what is defined as it is a process to systematically manage, organize, and control the changes in the documents, codes, and other entities during the software development lifecycle. So, like if I personally developing a software, then I know everything that whatever I've changed, what is its outcomes. So I am the sole owner of everything that is done with the project. But like if there is some two or more person in my group that we are together we are developing a software, then I have to tell them that no, this there is the place that I have make the changes. There is the code that I have to make the changes. So you people please take a note on that. So they will get the thing and they will work accordingly. But in a software industry, as a very large number of people work on that, and and in each module, a very large number of people works on that. So it's not possible to take my message to all of the people that no, these things has to be changed or this thing has to be updated. So I can commit to all the members of my industry to understand the changes that I made. So here in the case, the software configuration management comes into work. So the primary goal of this software configuration management is to increase the productivity with minimal mistakes. So if everyone knows the mistakes, everyone knows the changes, then there is a possibility that they will work accordingly and increase its efficiency. uh, uh, why do we need configuration management? There are multiple people working on software which is continuously updating. In every software, it takes update all the time. Like in our Play Store also, if we see there in every day in our daily life, we're seeing a huge number of updates that our apps are giving. So in some apps with updation, they will add some feature or uh, they will upgrade their efficiency of working with every step of their updation. So changes in so we have to see the SCM software configuration management. It defines a number of tasks in that. So it's here first it says version control. So I've said already, creating versions, specification of the existing product to build a new products from the help of software configuration management system. And the next is change control. Change control is a systematic approach to managing all the changes made to a product or system that I've said. Status reporting and reporting all the status to all the time is the third phase of this. And configuration audit. Software configuration audit verify that all software products satisfies the baseline needs. It ensures that what is built and what is delivered. Like if for example, if we take WhatsApp as an example, for the very first time, WhatsApp came as a messaging app. So, but now with updation, now we can they have updated, they had added the calling feature, and recently they have added the video calling feature also, and now we can see the status updation feature in WhatsApp. So this thing actually comes, but while working on an update, while working with this management, we have to work with the baseline thing. Like if like we can sleep from its baseline. Like it comes first as a messaging app, and now also with every update we can add we use this app as a messaging app also in these days. So with updated, the version may change, but the baseline thing should be remain the same. So with that, I want to conclude my presentation on the topic. If there is any question, then you can ask.
Okay, thank you, Sadir. Your topic is configuration management.
Yes, sir.
So in configuration management, what are the major things we must need to configure during the software development?
So what, sir? Actually, there's so noise in my place, so I can hear it properly.
So your topic is configuration management. Am I
Yes.
audible? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So in configuration management, what are the things you have to configure? Major things. Okay, there are so many things you have to configure, but what are the major things you have to configure during the development of the software?
So basically, it's codes, the codes that the developers are working on.
You need to configure the codes.
Yes, sir.
Anything else?
So anything, sir, like if there is any changes, changes is
So that means that because coding parts comes after completion of the 2 or 3 phases.
yes, sir.
Okay, so that means configuration management starts only from the coding phase. Is it?
No, sir. From its
It means,
very beginning, like from the requirement of the customer till the requestment of the
but in
request.
requirement analysis, there is no use of coding. There's nothing like coding, and you have mentioned that you are. Can you justify this?
No, sir. Actually, the changes should be made from the customer requirement side from the very beginning of the stage of the software designing life cycle.
Okay. Anyone left for presentation? Because as Ankumani informed that Neha is not able to present because her mom is not feeling well, and Bhargav, he is absent. No information why he is absent. If anybody have any information, you can share with me. But as I told yesterday, today is mandatory to give the presentation. But till there is no information from Bhargav end. So I will notate this point. And about the rest, because the last class, in the last class when I assigned the topics, only 10 students are present. That's why I have assigned only 10 topics. Okay. I think David is absent. Then in that class, then Sri Slivon is absent. Sanglim is absent. Chandrasekhar is absent. I think Luknu is also absent.
Sir, I'm present today, sir. Chris Lewon.
What?
Sir, I'm present today, sir.
You are present today, but when I assign the topics, that day you are absent. That's why I
yes,
am
sir.
not able to assign.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that means those who are absent, they have lost 5 marks from the internal, because the presentation is based on 5 marks. In earlier uh, 10 marks in earlier presentation, I think we are evaluating based on 10 marks. For today, it will be based on 15 marks. So those who have absent in both the classes, they have lost 15 marks out of 40. That means their evaluation is based on 25 only. Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, who?
It's Chang.
Yes, Sanglim. Tell.
I think the last class I was present, sir. The day you gave the topics.
On 17th, I have assigned
Yes,
the
sir. I was
project,
present.
but on
Right.
you are present, then why you have not got the topic? Because in the attendance list, your name is not available.
Right, sir. I think it was
Not
like this
17, I think.
near the end.
What?
Yeah, near the end of your class, I got disconnected.
So then when I assign the topics, you have to communicate with me then. Sir, I disconnected. I have not got the topic. Can you assign a topic now? You have not in the last class also, when in the last presentation day also, you have not mentioned that you have not got. You have mentioned that you have not
Yeah,
got.
I Right,
I
right.
assume that you are absent at that day, but you have not mentioned it as a I was present, but I got disconnected. That means,
I think it
you
was
you guys are not taking this this presentation or whatever this is. You are not getting, not all of you, but some of you are not considered is a serious topic.
sir.
Most of the 6th sem students are not taking it seriously when a faculty member assign you some topic or when they ask you to join for the class, because it is not like that every day you are facing the same network issue, every day there is an emergency, every day you have a headache, every day you are not feeling well. The things cannot be like this. Okay, and I got the same issue from each and every faculty, so that's why I will going to treat it as a treat it like this. Those who are not able to present, they will lost 5 marks from internal. This is final. I'm not going to entertain any excuse. If you are not present in the class, if you are got disconnected, later you have to communicate with me. Okay, but yesterday also you have not mentioned that you are present at that class, but you are disconnected. So there is no point of further discussion regarding this. Those only 8 students have given the presentation, they will get some marks out of 5, other will lost the 5 marks. Okay, so from next time when there is any presentation or any kind of this, if you are absent this class also, at least communicate with me so that I can assign a topic. Okay, and avoid this absence in the class. Try to be present. Okay, because in the exam you have to write something to clear your exam. And one more thing, the meeting will going to end. One more thing I want to communicate, because in 6 sems, I think Manav sir have informed you about your projects in many times. That in 6 sem you have a project, you have a mini project, and it is compulsory. So for this you have to select a topic, you have to, and this time we give you the freedom that from your interest you can select a topic. If there is if you have any interest in a particular field, from that field you can select a topic, and along with you can select a guide. Apart from Mala ma'am, the other faculty members are going to take one group each. Maybe Nizora ma'am will take 2 group, and other will take 1 group each, I think. So by today you have to communicate, you have to communicate one of the faculty members and convince them to take you as a student. Okay, by today I think Manav sir have already informed everything. So you have to go through, select a topic of your interest, and if you are confused on that, you can go through you communicate with your guide, and guide will suggest you that you can go for this topic for your mini project, and this mini project will help you to do your major projects in the later semester. But it is compulsory, and you will get only 1 month time for this. You have to learn a new thing, and accordingly you have to execute. So by today, those who are absent in my class also, someone informed that it is mandatory. You have 16 students, that means 8 group. Everyone need to select 1 faculty member as a guide, communicate with that guide, consult with your guide. If you have any topic in your mind, communicate with them. If you don't get any topic, still you can communicate, and the guide will guide you. But by today itself you have to complete this process. Okay, is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so from next class I want 100% attendance. Okay, every day I'm mentioning the same issue. I want everyone must be present in that class.
Sir, critical path method for scheduling.
I will explain the next class. Okay, I will explain in the next class. Okay. Thank you, everyone.